Okay, we got dragon's milk. Oh.
I think everybody wants to say hi.
All right, that's the official start. Is when you pour. We're gonna make a pour clip too. Someone's gonna slice all these videos.
Hello.
Yo yo yo.
Hey, it's Zero. Yeah, you got it right.
Zero, like Nero.
Yeah, like Nero. So yeah, happy to be here. A very interesting topic.
Let's check out this playground. So we got this nice link here. And so I just wanted to run through a use case, kind of some help for some client work I'm doing. And I'll show you how this page works. But it's going to show you a workflow. There's a kind of a model, a business model here for NFTs, where you're going to buy a virtual NFT, like an NFT on a blockchain, and you're going to redeem it for something physical. And so today, I just wanted to actually go through exactly what that workflow looks like. Because we talk about it, but when you see it, it might help. I want to show you two perspectives here on this webpage. One of them is the perspective of the customer. So this is the person who's going to be buying the token and getting some type of physical. The other perspective is the vendor. This is the company that's going to be selling the thing. And there's still a lot more. There's a lot of practical stuff here. There's sales tax, which is a whole topic. And luckily, it all fits on one nice page. If you ever wanted to know how to make a web app that actually you can directly use for real commerce, just copy and paste. A lot of this stuff I put in here, it's meant to be copied. So you could just pull up in the source code, and if you read JavaScript, it's all on one page. There's not 70 pages. There's not compiling TypeScript. There's none of that. It's a little bit of jQuery, and then, okay, why is there banging on my door? She's barely one. We'll let it slide. And yeah, there's a couple lines of JavaScript, a couple lines of jQuery, and then some lines of Ethers.js, and that's it. So it says, enable your MetaMask account to use the demo. Okay, so we have to connect. Okay, you're connected. So you are connected using MetaMask to a Goerli network, and which means that I can click these buttons on this website and they're going to work. I'm a person who want to buy a thing. Okay, so we're going to sell physical magic cards. So if we're going to do that, we got to have, if Dan's making magic card tokens, then we better trust Dan's got these things in stock. eBay Vault, eBay is claiming that they're going to hold stuff for you. Anybody can claim they're holding stuff for you. The difference is people will probably believe eBay more than they trust somebody else. One of the questions I got a lot in 2018 was, people would walk up and they'd say, okay, NFTs, physical stuff. Oh, how about I just take all the crap in my basement, make NFTs and sell it? People can trade them, and then I'll just give them away when they want. When they want to redeem them, I'll just mail the vinyl records out of my basement. I'll say, are you famous? They say, no. I'll say, well, why would anybody trust you that you're actually going to mail the vinyl records? Because it's NFTs. NFTs are secure. Oh my God, no. So let's go get that NFT. So we've got a button here to mint an NFT. And this is just this testnet, and they're giving out for free. But in your application, there's probably going to be some cost or, some auction. Okay, so we got NFT number 6. So now we've decided we're going to fulfill this thing. So this is going to be a permanent, irrevocable transaction. This is going to be a one-way thing. So the next step is we're going to sign some fulfillment instructions. So we've got to tell them where to mail this stuff to us. If you're going to make a real application, you're probably going to have boxes and validate addresses using Google Maps API and all kinds of cool stuff. But because this is a demo, we've just got this big text box. I want to redeem Magic the Gathering token number 6 to my address at 1234 Market Street, Philip, PA 19006. I agree to the terms and conditions. Okay, so we're going to sign this. So we're going to cryptographically sign this message. Now, the cool thing about Web3, if you own a token, you can use the same account to sign a message. And it can be known that those two things are connected. I'm going to sign this message. And so I get this nice output here. So it's got the message, in text, and it's got this gobbledygook, crypto mumbo jumbo here. we've got the instructions, but we actually want to send the token. So we want to send this token away because that's going to be the permanent, you can only send it once, then it's not yours anymore. So now we're going to take token number 6, and we're going to transfer it to a fulfillment wallet. And it says transferring. All right, so that's number 6 was transferred. So that's gone. If you try to transfer it again, you don't own it. So you can only do it once. Okay, so after the customer signed the message with the instructions, everything's ready to go, and they've transferred the NFT, then somehow this information needs to get to the vendor. And there's this nice vertical 1 pixel line that you can barely see that represents 2 different concerns here. One's the customer, one's the vendor. So these instructions have to get to the vendor. Now, you can do a nice web app. You could tweet this or text this at somebody too. You could DM it to somebody. So the vendor needs to do 2 things. So first step is to take number 6 and check the status of it. Check. Fulfillment wallet owns token number 6. Well, that's good because the fulfillment wallet is owned by the vendor. There's no double spend happening here. It's not like one person sent it to you and then someone else is claiming that they got it. Token 6 was sent by this person. Next step is we're going to take this message here. And again, across this line, you have no idea who this person is. Just because you have an address here doesn't mean that's the person that bought it. So we're going to validate that. Okay, now this one doesn't show the green check mark because you actually got to think. The message format is correct. Okay, so that's good. And it says this message was signed by AE something something 99. If that is the account you're expecting, then you're good to proceed. So let me tell you a quick thing about how messages work. You can sign a message and then you can verify a message. Kind of weird to describe this, so I'll just show you what it looks like. If we take this message here, we change it a little bit. We change the C to a D at the end. We try to validate that. It's still a valid message. The format's right. Now the signature's wrong? Well, that's not, if you receive these fulfillment instructions, that is not the correct address. So this person does not have authority to request that you fulfill this token. So you would just delete this message. This is spam. Or it's wrong. And you would wait for the correct message to come. But you might look at this and be like, well, wait a minute. If I can just type in literally any signature here at all, can I just forge other people's messages? Yeah, you can forge other people's messages. You can forge people's messages all day on Ethereum. It's a nice quote. Problem is, you can't control who you're forging. If you're using the normal ways of signing a message, then it's going to be your account that is shown there. So if I go back to my account, then the address that is shown as the signer is me, AE something something 99, which is here and which is here in my MetaMask that I'm logged into, AE something something 99. But if I change the message to some other crap, I'm forging a message, but it's some other person. Now, I'm going to summarize some cryptography, some nerd stuff. But basically, one of the basic tenets here is that you can forge stuff all day. You're probably, in your lifetime, never going to forge a message for anybody that matters. Because it's a nice way to summarize, public key cryptography here. This model's been used before. This exact model was used by like 3 or 4 post offices, national post offices. Austria Post, Croatia Post. There's a third one, version 3. They sold 10,000 like in a minute on the first one. Well, think about what a post office is too. So, and they get that and they're like, okay, so we're going to make a commemorative stamp and basically nobody's going to use these for postage. And they're like, yeah, they're NFTs. Nobody's going to burn these things. And they're like, sold. Oh, and I don't have to do any work. You're going to do all the work for me? Take it. And then they get a nice company to work with like this. History's made. So I actually love that model. For financial assets, for collectors, that is a great model. Jason, thank you. Company that makes securitizes gold. They can hold gold for you. They can hold gold. So these would be called named storage. So if you give them a gold piece with a specific serial number, that's the serial number you get. You can put gold in this box and you can put Magic the Gathering trading cards in that box. You got to be in the business of holding valuable things for people. If you're already in this business, Jason, or if you know somebody, this is really, it's a gold mine. If you know of a company that's already storing wine, storing other, valuable things, has insurance, has many, many millions of dollars of insurance. If you're a company that wants to do this, if you want to do this, and you're talking about NFTs, and you already don't have $100 million worth of property insurance, you're not the right person for this project. Next question here. How do we validate signature? You have a thing, you have a private key, and you're going to sign that. It's called signing a message. On the right half, if you have a message and you have a signature, then you can recover the public key. It's kind of weird. It's like nobody's just looking to see who signed a message. That's not really helpful. Usually we're trying to see, like, did this person sign this message? If you want to get into the actual code, this is pretty simple the way we do it behind the scenes. So we use ethers.js. Here's all the code you need to sign a message. And half of this is just error handling. We're going to take this message. We're going to use jQuery to get the message value. So we use this thing called sign message. I hate in Microsoft Edge, every time you select text, it gives you this pop-up, which means you can't click off of the text. This is the line of code that does that. The second half of that parses the JSON and it extracts the message and the signature from the JSON. And then it's just going to run, first is the collection, and then it's going to run this one function on Ethers, verify message with signature. So that's the bits and bytes of it, the logarithms, the technical too. Here we go. Question out of the blue. What utilities do NFTs have? Whatever utility you want. What does its card title give you? Card title gives you permission. Card title gives you standing to ask the police to go get your car back if someone else steals it. That's the utility of a card title is. And a card title is an NFT. So, house. A house title, United States, gives you the utility of being able to ask the local authorities to kick somebody out if they have taken possession of your house. Oh, you meant blockchain NFTs? Yeah. Well, there's nothing implicit in that. So you've got to just define those value streams yourself. If you're going to be a country, then you're going to say we have private property ownership. Well, then you confer this ownership onto people that have property titles. Likewise for cars, houses, whatever. Horses, I've seen property titles for horses. I've seen horses registered with the state. I've seen cows registered with the state. This is called branding. They can track these things and you pay a tax on them and they track these. So the establishment of this tax system and the tracking and the serial numbers and all that stuff, that's creating value for an NFT. So for here, this use case we went through a little earlier today, we talked about some maybe a visual use case or some type of pretty thing on the screen versus taking delivery of Magic the Gathering cards. I thought I was going to retire on Magic the Gathering cards. I went into my basement. I found my parents' basement. Obviously, that's where you keep MTG cards, right? And I pulled a few out, and then I saw what these things are selling for on eBay during COVID. Right? You hear me? You trying to retire, Dan? No, I got out too slow. I came in at the end of COVID. I was looking at what they had sold for, and now the market's totally cleared up. So I'm waiting for the next COVID, and then I'll totally offload my beta. I don't have any alpha. I got betas, a lot of Series 5. I got them all. No Black Lotus, no fake cards, all real stuff. Used. None of them are mint. Digible. Sounds dangerous. Users mint phygitals. Oh, this is going to be bad. Okay, here we go. They store and authenticate. Okay, you don't store and authenticate a phygital. You store and authenticate a physical. If the user mints it, how can DigiSafe authenticate? This is dumb. Well, yeah, you got to have a physical thing to get. Yeah, it should be you mail to DigiSafe, they give you a token. All right, so this is either backwards where they've already failed at step 2. NFT acts as legal title for the oh my god, this is amateur. In which jurisdiction? Who wrote this? Looks amateur. What would look a million times more trustworthy than this is if you didn't have the word metaverse as like your largest word on the page. I would trust a phygital marketplace if the URL was something like Tedesco.com, which is a well-known and respected marketplace for physical stuff that's hundreds of years old, /NFTs. That's what I want to see. Like this picture right here looks like they're going to be taking things and then creating virtual experiences out of them. They're going to be taking Nike shoes and then creating pictures of Nike shoes, which they don't have a right to do. And then they're going to be putting them in metaverses. I mean, it's like Lawsuit City right here. Okay, NFT can be sold, auctioned, used, play to earn. Okay, it's just, I'm not even going to read the next step. Okay, so they're going to play to earn. So then they're going to pay you to use these things. Let me just check their policy on tax. No. Okay, so now we're earning money, but we're not paying taxes. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. All right. So that's my official review of the Collector's Metaverse Digible. Sorry, Digible. Hot take. But no, this is the right idea. Wrong company to execute it, and some extra crap in here that we don't need. Let's see, that is what we're talking about. Wax is killing it. Wax is up and down, getting into hot brands. Hot Wheels, I was at Target. Hot Wheels are still like $1. They're great. I don't know any people that are in the Hot Wheels target audience that wants NFTs. I mean, I think Hot Wheels like caps out like 6 years old before you get a phone, but you know, my daughter's all over Hot Wheels. This is definitely cool. All right, last question of the day. Let's hear it on Twitch. Hear a lot of narratives. What's up, Polish Paul? About NFTs, car titles, land ownership, IRL, art, everything. But today I'm only experiencing NFTs on-chain using for speculating on art. What's the most impactful use of NFTs on-chain today that already benefits users in a way that wasn't possible before blockchain? Great question. Paul, let me give you some upside here. Speculating on art, the reason why you're seeing that today is because we're early. We're only 4 years into this, and getting these very valuable use cases on the network, it take at least 5 years. If you're looking at it in the year 2022, yeah, it looks like a bunch of crap. If you look at it, you're a historian from 25th century looking back, yeah, we're doing good stuff, but this is just a blip. So you got to look at it that way. Zooming back into 2022, what are the impactful things? Some of the projects I gave you on this series earlier, one of them is related to COVID testing. I had something to do with. You can see certificates. I can't say this is the most impactful, and I'm not the judge. On this one, we did COVID test results, making sure they're authentic. There's other ones. You know, some of this artwork is impactful. Speculating on art is not a bad thing. So I'll say it again. Speculating on art can be a good thing. Who's the art benefiting? I bought my first NFT like 2 months ago. Why? Because I support the artist. And so for me, that's not really speculation. Where'd that money go? It went to a friend, and she's going to use it, however she wants. We can say, oh, this is not a good thing. I don't feel that way. I'm not really concerned about the bad things. I'm not even going to say they're not impactful. There's a lot of artists that are, let's say, under-financed artists, right? These are people that might not have as many opportunities in life that did with NFTs. You might not be feeling that way if you look at the top 10 on OpenSea, but if you go deep scrolling, you might find some stories there that are already benefiting users in a way that wasn't possible. In the years before, you had Instagram, you had DeviantArt. You could show off, but you couldn't retire on that stuff. Now people are retiring. Artists are not dying poor now. So I'm here to defend a little bit the speculating on art part.